What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing good. Today I'm gonna go and drain the oil like we talked in the previous video, and my heat wrap showed up. I'll show you that in a second, but I did send out my turbo, so that is already in works. Precision emailed me saying that I received the turbo and it is in work, so hopefully it won't be too long until I get it back. But for today I wanted to drain the engine oil, and this is going to be the first oil change since I picked up the motor from the import shop and got it installed. Drove it for a little bit, and now we're going to drain it. And we're going to take a close look to the filter. We're going to cut that open, check the filter, and look at the oil, make sure everything is good. And also go ahead and wrap the headers and the downpipe. Here's the wrap that I got from ISR. This is the 2-inch titanium wrap, and I purchased 50 feet of that. And I have some metal zip ties that I had laying around, so we're going to go ahead and use these guys. And there's some more back there, so I think that should be enough. And I was looking at it just now, and I think I'm gonna have to pull the wastegate because it's too close in there, and it's just going to be tough to get a wrap. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the vacuum lines off of it and pop this off and get it off the car. First thing I want to do is drain the oil because I'm really curious to see what that looks like. On the stick, it looks very clean, like you just pour fresh oil in it. It's not black, it's nice honey color. So I really hope everything inside of it is the same way and there's no issues. The oil pan's already under the car. I cleaned it very well, so there's no debris in it. So everything that will come out of the motor, that's what it's inside. So let's get to it. Let's drain the oil and get the filter, and let's take a look at it. And the oil cap's already off, just in case you're wondering. Ooh, that's a little darker, but it's still not bad. Well, it's darker than what it looked like on a dipstick, but on this thing, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, the camera won't focus. There it is, a little bit. But we'll see here in a second. Alright guys, here is the oil. I already drained it, and it kind of, I don't know if you can see it. It looks dark, but there's a little bit of a flake in it. Not much. But I don't know if this camera will pick it up. Let me try to zoom in on it. Well, you can kind of see it. Alright, as you saw, there was a little bit of a flake going on in it. Not much, just a tiny bit. But I'm going to go ahead and drain this oil into a pan, into a clear bottle. And I want to really see what's at the bottom of this oil pan. And I already actually pulled the filter off, and I put a new filter on because it was making a mess on the subframe. It just kept dripping. And so I put a new one on. Sorry I didn't tape it, but you all know it's just an oil filter, so I'm sure you know how to take it off, how to put it on. And I actually used this, the one I ran it, I ordered this K&N filter from Drift Motion. I bought 2 of them. So one was in the break-in period, and now I just installed my second one. So I don't know, if you ever use that filter, let me know if you like it or don't. I'm not really sure yet. I never used one. I don't think it's too bad, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna drain this oil into this bottle, and we're gonna take a look what's at the bottom of the oil drip pan. Alright guys, so I drained the oil, and here's what we got here. Some of it, there's a little flake in it. You can see, I'm trying to get a better view, but some of it, there's just some kind of crap. I don't know. I did drop a napkin in here earlier, but there's a few little pieces of metal, I guess. Nothing really on my finger, but a little bit of flake going on in here. So I don't know if I should worry about this yet or not. But like I said, this was the first oil change on the break-in oil. So I'm gonna put some fresh oil in. Before I actually put some fresh oil in, I'm gonna order a magnetic drain plug, and then we're gonna put some fresh oil in. Once the turbo's back, we'll drive it again, we'll drain it, and then we'll see. Hopefully this was just the first time and the rest of it will be clean. I was trying to actually figure out how to cut the oil filter open with just like tin snips or something. I didn't want to use like a high-speed grinder, so all the shavings from the case will go right in there, and then I'm not gonna know what actually is, you know, what's the oil, what's the flakes from the motor, and what's the flakes are from the case. But anyway, I'm going to figure that out later, and I'll get it cut it open, and I'll show you maybe same video or a different video, but we're gonna take a look at that. But right now I went ahead and removed the valve cover, not the valve cover, but the spark plug cover, and I want to remove the spark plugs and take a look at them and see how they're doing. And if you've never seen, I don't think I ever showed this before, this is the Thorn Performance R35, Nissan R35 spark plug swap kit. So it's got these nice carbon plates in it. Focus. Alright, and it looks pretty good. So this is my custom harness that I had made. And another thing I noticed when I took this off, you see this? One of my plastics was rubbing on the belt, so it left a whole bunch of marks. It's not going to hurt anything, but I'm going to go ahead and remove these once we have this front clip off for radiator mod. I'm going to remove them and see what actually rubbed, just to know. But I'm going to go ahead and pop these off. I'm going to get an Allen. I'm going to remove all of them right now and start taking them off, and we'll take a look at that. Alright guys, I went ahead and removed the spark plugs and the coil packs, and here it is. I just want to show you a little better view of the Thorn Industries. I earlier said Thorn Performance, but it's actually Industries, so apologize for a mistake. But here it is. Here's how these plates look like. You got 3 carbon plates just mounted to your block with a set of Allen screws. And then you have these little spacers that stick out to where you screw your coil packs in. And here's the hardware that it comes with. And then you can select different colors. I actually didn't do that, so that's what I got. But I don't really care. You can't see it under the cover anyway. So since I don't have any teal in there in the engine bay, I'm not really worried about it. But I found an issue. Here, I'm going to show you what it is. When I pulled number 2 cylinder, or number 2 coil pack, this little guy right here actually fell out, and it has these little prongs on it where the spring grips to it. I can't get it focused. Alright, there it is. You see the little prongs on it, how it grips the whatever this piece called. Well, it completely fell out, so I ended up taking the sleeve off right here and resecuring this back on, but this still has to go in there. You just gotta press it in. But anyway, here it is. It is all together. It doesn't go anywhere. Now I can pull on it, and I just took these pliers right here, small needle nose, and squeeze them together. So it should be good now, but kind of explains it. I had a rough idle here and there sometimes, and I'm pretty sure this is my problem. So I'm happy that I found this just now. Anyway, I checked the rest of them, and this is number 1, number 6. Checked the rest of them. The rest of them look pretty good. I pulled on every single one of them. They did not fall out. And looked at my spark plugs. They look pretty healthy. Look like they were all wearing evenly, so I'm happy about that. And once I did the first initial install, I gapped the spark plugs at 25 thousandths. So now, since the boost pressure is at 27 pounds on the 85, I'm gonna decrease my gap. So I don't know if you guys know that. If you increase your boost pressure, you wanna decrease your gap. So I'm gonna probably go down to 22 thousandths, maybe 21, we'll see. Probably 22 and see how it idles. And now, since we're done with oil, we already figured out what we're gonna do oil. I'm gonna pick up some more oil, magnetic drain plug, and then once the turbo's back, we're gonna run it, drain it, take a look at it one more time, since that was the first oil since the motor was installed. Spark plugs look good. Hopefully the rough idle, sorry, is going to be fixed due to that thing, and I'm pretty sure it will be. And now I actually can start wrapping the downpipe and the headers. I would still have to pull the, like I told you before, still have to pull my wastegate, but I'll do that here in a little bit. I might not be able to do everything tonight, but at least I'll start on it. So right now we're gonna start on this downpipe. So this guy's pretty small, and you already heard before in the previous video that I'm gonna do the rest of it where it curves under the chassis all the way to the bottom where my flex pipe is. So I'll show you that later. But let me set you guys down, and we're gonna get started on this piece first and see how it turns out. Alright, well there it is, guys. Here's how it came out. I try to make it look as nice as possible. This is the beginning where the turbo sits. I kind of put two wraps there because this part ended up being pretty thick here, and I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to put two metal ties on it, and then I put one at the bottom where it continues onto the exhaust. So basically, when it comes back, that's what you're gonna see. It kind of just gonna be sitting down like that, so it doesn't look too bad. And then plus the heat blanket's gonna be right next to it, so it should look pretty good. So just about like that. But yeah, I kept like about a 1/4 inch overlap. Try to keep it as even as possible. It is kind of hard to do it. So this wrap, it says you don't need to wet it, but I think wetting the wrap is easier to do. But I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing it with a dry wrap. So I think for the night, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. It's kind of getting late, but I will definitely pick it up tomorrow or the day after whenever I get a time. Actually tomorrow morning I'm gonna go ahead and remove the tires and drop them off at the shop to get them mounted. So also need to get that done and finish the rest of this. So for tonight, I'm gonna call it a wrap, and we'll start on it tomorrow and get it finished up. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. What's up, guys? It's a new day, and first thing I want to do this morning is go ahead and drop the tires off of the shop for the rears. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. And here's the tires, I already pulled them off. Here's the rear ones off the back. So as you see, they're pretty worn out. And this is this one. This is a right hand, that's a left hand. So these guys are pretty beat up. So we're gonna get rid of them. Here's the new ones. So let me get this loaded up into the truck, and we're gonna go drop them off. Alright, guys, we are all loaded up, and we're just going to our local shop here which is Discount Tire. It's only a few miles up the road, so we're gonna go probably just drop it off. I gotta run some errands and then we're gonna come back and pick them up. All right, let's hit the road. I'll see you there. All right, here we are, guys. We're just arriving at Discount Tire here. So I'm gonna go inside and get them dropped off, and then we'll take a look how they turn out. All right, guys, we're back at the garage now. Just came back with the tires. Here they are. So we got some fresh meat on the wheels. Not looking too bad. We'll see how they look on the car later once it's on the ground. But I'm pretty excited about it, so it should be good. Let's get back to our header. So I was looking at this last night, and I think I need to start at the collector and kind of bring the wrap closer to one of the tubes, and then clip it right here, or maybe, yeah, probably on this one. And both of these right here will be wrapped together somewhere up to this point. The reason is because you see how close these are, and I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the material for both tubes next to each other. So I'm going to wrap both of these together and all of these individually, and then we'll see how it turns out. And then this little guy right here. So this wrap, I'm going to remove it because this is a DEI wrap that I used, and I think this is a lower temperature than titanium. So the titanium is usually used for, it's better for the turbo cars or supercharged cars, and this is just a fiberglass wrap that's used for NA cars. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and remove the wastegate, and then start figuring out what is the best way to wrap this. So let's get into it. Alright, guys, here's the update on a wrap. So this wrap, I'm going to be honest with you, it is a pain in the butt to wrap these headers, just because a lot of the pipes are very close together. They're basically touching each other. So as you see this spot, I wasn't even able to get a wrap in there to cover this piece. But I don't know if it's really going to matter that a little section is not covered. So it is what it is. But for this side, for the collector, this exit for the wastegate, and these two runners, I basically started over here, and I kind of just start wrapping all the way down and around, and then wrap both of these together until about right here, and then I wrap this one individually just in this little short section, and then I continue on and wrap the rest of this one. So that's what I have, and let me give you a closer look. Basically, it's not tied together yet, so I still gotta snug it down and make it tighter, but that's what this is gonna look like. And here's the collector part. So then we're just gonna go ahead and try to figure out how I'm gonna do the rest of these, because this is a pain in the butt to wrap, especially when it's on the car. And I really recommend, if you're gonna do this, just do it, you know, before you install it, if that's what you're gonna do, and that'll be a lot better and easier to do it on the table. So let me go ahead and figure out how I'm gonna do the rest of them, and I'll show you what I come up with. Alright, guys, so after several hours of messing around with this heat wrap, it's not really coming out as good as I really want to, so I decided to go ahead and pull the header off so I can do it on the bench. And I already went ahead and loosened up all the nuts, so the nuts are removed and the header is loose, and this is what I got so far, and I'll show you. I don't know how many of you guys are running or will be running a CX Racing header, but this guy's pretty tight in here, but that's not really the issue right now. The problem is right now for me pulling this off, I have this -16 line right here for a lower radiator hose, and this first runner is hitting this B-nut, so I have to pull off the B-nut so I can lean this farther down to get it removed. So if you guys are actually doing your build, I recommend either get an adapter plate for your hose right here and running this towards the bottom, or chopping this a little bit shorter so this is actually going to sit right here. I didn't do that, but no big deal. I still have to pull the radiator off so we can move it forward. So the fluid's already drained, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this B-nut off and get this removed. Now we're all removed and we're on the bench. So this is what I was talking about. It was kind of hard to get the wrap underneath right here once it was on the car, and it wasn't coming out real nice. So that's the reason I went ahead and removed it. But these headers, a lot of areas, they're touch, like right in here. This is pretty tight fit, and also right over here, as you can see, there's no light. So I'm gonna have to get creative wrapping these, and also a big area right over here, right in this area, it gets pretty tight. So I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this yet, but this is not gonna be an easy one. So let me try to figure this out, and we'll try to come up with something to make it look pretty good. Guys, here's where I'm at. I basically just start messing around a little bit to see what's the best way to wrap it. And I kind of started at this end, and then went down, and then back around, and up back this runner. So this is the spot that was touching, and I wasn't able to get a wrap in there, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just a little spot. So plus it's going to be covered by the turbo, so you're not going to be able to see it in the engine bay, but as far as heat protruding through it, it's just going to be just a little bit, but it is what it is. I wasn't able to make it in there just because the headers are touching each other. Alright guys, so I just finished up wrapping the header, and just a few things before I show you how it came out. I just want to say I ordered 60 feet of the wrap, and I was able to get the header and that short piece of downpipe done. I wasn't able to get the rest of the downpipe that's still attached in the car, and I think I'm just gonna run down to AutoZone, pick up a small roll of DEI, so Advanced Auto Care's DEI titanium wrap. I think I'm just gonna pick that up and finish wrapping that downpipe where it goes under the chassis, and that's gonna be it. I don't think I'm gonna order and waste several more days till it comes in for the ISR stuff. But let me show you what this came out to and what it looks like. Alright guys, here's what the finished product looks like. It is all done. About I'll say 99.8% of it's covered. I wasn't able to cover this piece, like I told you before. I guess I was, if I would have went a different route and ran a double here and then back to single, I would be able to cover that, but it's done. So I think I'm just gonna rock that the way it is. But the last two right here that I had left earlier, I started off from the wastegate section and I went around twice around here, around the collector, back to here. And in this area, I thought I was able to run just a dual and then back to single, but because I already had this one wrapped, there was no more room left for the wrap, so I had to do 3 of them together, back to 2, and then back to 1. So that's why it came out the way it came out, but it doesn't look that bad. I don't think I'm going for looks, more like performance type of stuff I'm looking for, or to keep the engine a little bit cooler. And this area right here, it wasn't able to get covered, but the rest of it is covered everywhere else. That's what the bottom looks like. They're running dual here, and here it is again, 3 of them, 2 to 1. So I don't think it came out that bad. Most of it's going to be covered by the turbo anyway, once the turbo's in there and it's in the car, and you're not going to be able to see any of it. But I think as far as the performance is going to go, I think it's going to help out a lot. And here's that other pipe that we did earlier, and I will finish the rest of this later tonight or tomorrow. I just got to run up to Advanced Auto. So that's it for the wrap, and I think it came out pretty good, and it's going to look pretty good once I get it installed. And before I get it installed, I actually have to, before I get it installed, I actually have to order new gasket for the header. I thought about reusing the old one. I'll show you real quick. I have that multi-layer gasket that I ordered from Drift Motion when I was doing a swap, and it's only been there for about a few months and really didn't see any beating on it yet, but I don't want to risk this thing leaking. So I think, and these guys are not cheap. They're $70, $70 for a gasket. But I think if it leaks, it's just going to be more headache later. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and order a new one anyway, because I still have to order a magnetic drain plug, a new oil filter, and a gasket for the turbo. So I might as well order this one too. Precision did call me back and let me know what happened to the turbo and why it happened, but I'm going to leave that for the next video. In the next video, I'm going to update you on the turbo, which is going to be here maybe in a few days or so. And then also we're going to start pulling the front end apart to figure out how to move the radiator forward so we can get rid of that funky loop up front. But for today, guys, that is it. We're gonna keep improving the build. Hopefully we'll be back on the track soon. I see the tracks are starting to open up, so I cannot wait to get out there and see what this car does. So for now, this is it, guys. Keep improving your builds, and I'll see you in the next one.